Hey everybody, it's Brian from Pi Records, and I'm very excited to have on Marky from the Aquaholics. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. I'm just gonna
Eh,
hit the okay here that you're recording. We're all good now.
okay. So I was very pleasantly surprised at what I heard when I listened to the Aquaholics for a number of reasons. The two guitar parts played extremely well off each other, and the tone that you guys have is amazing. But on a side note, the uh Burzum and Mayhem in there. I'm a fan, so kudos to you for including something like that.
Yeah, that's actually how I learned how to trem pick. I kind of went through like a death and black metal phase through high school, so I learned how to trem pick, and then basically the same style, just different tone.
Yeah, yeah. I was a huge thrash metal fan, and that's where I developed my tremolo picking.
Nice.
So okay, we have 13 Tikis, the Breakers from Chicago, and the Aquaholics. Tell me what that's like being a part of that really rich scene out there. I mean, there's so many great bands.
Yeah, before COVID, we did a little surf show that I put together. It was just a little dive bar, but yeah, Breakers played, and we have the Cocktail Preachers too, which my drummer's dad was in. Trying to think of who else. We played with Cherokee Astro from Sheboygan, and I got to record them. They're really good. They're only a three piece, but I would definitely check them out. Um, we used to play a lot. We've been together since 2005, so we always got lumped in to playing with rockabilly bands, which I'm
Yeah,
not really super into rockabilly, but you know, there's a couple really good, like Three Blue Teardrops is really good local
yeah,
band we used to play with. Um, but we play a lot of like more punk shows and like house parties, and hopefully now that COVID's over, we'll start playing more shows with more surf bands and get some stuff together. I know Jim's working on a lot of stuff all the time.
yeah. He just sent me a "What's My Rig" and it's fantastic. He showed all his guitars and he got quite a collection.
Yeah, he's got that crazy lime green flame hallmark.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
have about a dozen hallmarks now.
oh really?
Yeah, me and Bob got really close, and he actually flew out here from Greenbelt, Maryland, and recorded drums for one of the comps he did with Bob Spalding, who's still in the Ventures. So I technically could say I recorded drums for the Ventures.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So, I think I'd be correct in saying you guys were on that Chicago comp.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
yeah, the one Jim put together. Yeah, we were on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I heard that, and like I said, I'm really impressed with the Chicago music scene. Um, for anybody who wants that Chicago comp, you can find that on Bandcamp. I know you can. But I want to talk about your tone right now and the two guitar parts that you have. How do you guys, make that fit and make it sounds like singing? That's what it really sounds like to me.
When we first started, I was just a one man band, and I would do, since I came more from like a pop punk background, I would just do like pop punk covers but surf style, and I would just play rhythm guitar. And once I heard the Low Straight Jackets, I bought one of those Galaxy 4s, and that was kind of the first guitar that really got me comfy into playing that style. So that's kind of still my main guitar. Um, but I would just do melodies that were really, old Screeching Weasel and Queers and stuff like that. And then as I progressed, I kind of, it was funny. I look back at some of my gear. The first rig I had, I was playing out of a crate amp with a Boss RV5
Yep.
reverb on the hall setting, not even the spring. I didn't know what I was doing. So I kind of like when bands kind of just make with what they have. I feel
Yeah.
like everyone now, like, yeah, I love the Surfy Bear. I got a Surfy Bear. I've had a real tank too, but uh, you know, even live, I just play with the cheap Fender Champion 100 because I'm sick of
Yeah.
lugging around tube amps, and
Yep.
you're still gonna throw $100 microphone in front of it anyways and play for a bunch of drunk people. So I'm kind of a gear snob, but I kind of still really appreciate when people can make way with just what they have, even if it's not like what is expected.
There is I wanted to start a surf project with somebody, and I said I need to get reverb, and the person said to me, "Don't let that stop you from creating music." And what you just said kind of confirms that,
Yeah,
with me.
it was funny because our first record we recorded Sonic Iguana in Lafayette with Mass Giorgini. He mastered it, but that was where like all the bands that I listened to growing up recorded. And he had a Saldano amp that everyone played out of, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll play out of the Saldano." And I had my reverb pedal, and they're like, "Oh, we could just add reverb in post." And I was like, "No, you don't understand. Like, this is like there's no way we would sound like shit if we had no reverb pedal in front of us." So that was kind of funny recording there, but it was a blast just because all the bands we loved recorded there. So it was kind of cool. They never recorded a surf band before,
Oh,
and
nice.
that was our first record, which Sherawaji's finally going to it was never properly released, but they're going to do at least CDs soon. And then
Nice.
the Surfing with Satan, which we recorded in my basement like 3 years ago live, that's finally coming out end of November. We were shooting for Halloween, but you know how it is with
Yeah.
vinyl release. So
Wait, that's coming out on vinyl, and you recorded that live?
we did it live in my basement, and then I overdubbed a couple things.
Yeah, it sounds incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, I went crazy with my home recording setup because I got a job at Guitar Center just for the discount for a few years, and I spent like $75,000 while I was there. And that's with like half off. So
Wow.
I record a lot of bands, mostly like local punk bands. So I'm usually booked like 3-4 days a week, a couple months out, and it's what I love to do. I would do it full time, but it's just too inconsistent.
Yeah.
Bands will cancel and stuff. So I just got a new day job about 4 months ago, so my schedule's opened up a lot more. I'm not working nights anymore, doing the music retail at Guitar Center, which was kind of killing me with liking music. So now that I'm out of there, I'm finally buying records again and digging.
What do you do for a day job?
I am a salesman for robotics for factory equipment. Like we sell these crazy robots that have suction cups that move pallets, and
Wow.
we sell these cylinders and slides, all for automation, mostly factory automation stuff. So like we had an order today basically saying if we didn't get this part to this company by the end of the month, no one would have Oreo cookies this Christmas.
Oh my God.
So yeah, and there's only like 3 distributors that do all this stuff throughout the whole nation. So it's kind of cool. I'm learning a ton, and it's a little overwhelming, but it's good to have a change, and I'm making a lot more money.
Yeah, yeah. Um, tell me what that flag is in the back there.
That's the Chicago flag.
Really?
Yeah.
It's cool.
I used to have, this is my little home studio. I used to have, as you can see, a couple of guitars I got hanging.
Yeah.
It was funny because I had like a Baphomet flag, and I ended up doing, I do basically anything I can. And I had a Christian choir singer guy that wanted to come over. I was like, maybe I should take down this flag and not freak him out, because I was making a ton of money off this guy. He was giving me like a couple $100 a week to record him so he could practice and hear himself.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'll take that down. And the Chicago flag has stayed up since.
The other flag is cool. I would be okay with
it. Yeah, I'm like the only one out of all my cousins that doesn't have it tattooed on me. I love Chicago, but I'm not that diehard.
So Surfing with Satan, that was released in 2017, right? You have what, 3 albums?
We have 2: the Psycho Satanic Surf Party and then Surfing with Satan. And then we just released on Bandcamp the hold on, let me hit my little low battery thing. I don't know why it's saying that I'm plugged in. The Satan Tsunami single we did because we were a 4-piece for a long time, and it was working out great. And then the guy that we had, he just had some personal stuff going on and needed to take a break. So I was like, well, let's just spark the fire and try to record something as a 3-piece. And that song we actually wrote back when we started in 2005, 6, and we never got a proper recording of it. So, you know, it's always hard with like any band. You kind of take 1 step forward, 2 steps back, kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
you know, everyone's getting older. I'm almost 40 now. I just turned 38, so it's like everyone's got real jobs and having kids and buying houses. So it's hard to get together for even once a week for a couple hours.
What are some of the notable bands that some of us might have heard that you recorded, other than the Ventures?
Uh, yeah, that was Bob's Shade in the Ventures. Well, I mastered that whole record. I did some remixing for RJ Ronquillo, who everyone would know, and that's in this scene. But it's funny because I still do a lot of a lot of black metal, and I do a lot of pop punk. And some of my favorite bands that I've recorded are the Sheckies. They're from New Jersey. They're kind of like our brother band. My other band did a split with them, and they're really, really good. But yeah, I would say a lot of them are pretty just unknown local bands. Just I really just like, even if I get a group of kids in here and it's their first time recording and they get super excited the first time they hear it, that's kind of what I get out of it, is that excitement of like, wow, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
And just helping underdog bands. You know, I'm kind of going for the like punk rock studio with a punk rock budget and just getting the best you can with, you know, if I can give a band an EP for a couple $100, I'm happy.
Nice.
You
Nice.
know?
And that's recording, mixing, and mastering.
Yeah, I have I use Studio One as my DAW, and then for mixing and mastering, I have tons of plugins from like Slate and Isotope and IK Multimedia, their T-Rex stuff I really like. And I do lessons and stuff on the side and installs, all kinds of stuff, anything with studio stuff, because I would get a lot of customers that would buy the stuff and then want to return it. I'm like, just give me an hour of your time and I'll help you with it, because it could be intimidating. But
Yeah.
all the first stuff we recorded, I did on a little digital 8-track. It was called the Boss BR1180, and in its time, it was super cool. It was like $800. I think I gave it to a buddy of mine for like 50, because it's so obsolete.
Yeah.
You know, now you can go buy a $150 interface with 2 channels and you get everything. But yeah, I recorded everything with just one mic in the middle of the room, and it sounded cool because with surf, I really like the lo-fi sound. I don't like overproduced stuff. I think it's kind of cooler when it's a little more old school sounding. And it's funny we brought that up because Mark Malibu's doing his Kitty Christmas record again.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You guys got anything for me?" And I was like, "Man, we just didn't have time. This whole October is so busy for me." I went to Universal Studios for the Killer Clowns thing.
Oh, nice.
I was so burnt out this whole month. So I was like, I think I have a comp from 2006. There was like a local punk band called Donkey Punch, and they did like a comp, and it was right when Aquaholics started, and I did a cover of Merry Christmas, I Don't Want to Fight Tonight. Just one man bandit, just threw one dynamic mic in front of the drums 10 feet away. And so I pulled it out and I tried to rip it, and it's all crackly and poppy, but that's kind of the charm of it. So I was like,
Yeah.
here you go. Here's the song for the comp.
I honestly think that song is the best song on Brain Drain.
Yeah, I really like the 80s Ramones stuff. I actually covered Halfway to Sanity all the way through with my other band, the Cobains, because all the bands I like did, like Screeching Weasel did the first album, the Queers did Rock for Russia, the McCrackens did Too Tough to Die, Beatnik Termites did Pleasant Dreams. So there was a lot of bands that were doing it, and I was like, it'd be kind of cool to kind of just keep the torch going, pass on the torch, and even if it was 20 years later, you know. And we did that. It's been a while already. I think we did that like 10 years ago, and did it all in one day live. not in my studio, in a different studio, but I'm actually about to release that. We did a live version at the big club out here is called Reggie's, and they pro recorded everything live. So I just remastered it and chopped it up. So I'll put that up on Bandcamp soon.
Nice. What is up with the Aquaholics now? Are you playing? Did you play this past summer? What are your plans for 2023?
We don't really plan stuff out. We just kind of take it as it comes, you know. I really just like writing and recording a lot. I think playing shows is fun, but you know, it's like we played Liars Club last week, and then we played a house party, and I honestly just like I'd rather play a house party than a really big show.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely like a party band, so we try to keep it, you know, low key. And you know, if I can get 30 people in a basement that are going crazy for us, I have more fun doing that than playing like some big venue where we're all mic'd up and it feels empty.
I got
yeah, we've never toured. I would love to tour. I toured with my other bands. It's just, again, it's always like we find a good member, we get a good run, and then something will happen. Someone will quit, or they can't play for a while, and then we'll get someone else. You know, so we've had a few lineup changes, but I would love to do at least another EP or something by next year. We have about 3 or 4 songs that we never recorded with Debbie, our old guitar player, and he was a great writer, and he was really enthusiastic and kind of wrote a different style than me. So it was, you know, I was used to doing everything by myself. So it was good to kind of have someone else's input. So we still got to record those songs with him, even if he's not going to do the live shows full time. But we have some demos of them, which, in my opinion, are good enough to release. You know,
Yeah.
we still did them live. You know, there's a few flubs here and there, but sometimes you demo a song so many times and go to record the real version, and then you got this like super polished version, and you're like, kind of missed that little thing I did there that wasn't perfect. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. And that's the punk rock in it. You know, like from what I'm gathering from you, you're super DIY, and that comes from your background. You know, even from black metal, back in the day was super DIY.
Yeah, yeah. I was in a black metal band drumming for a while. We did a couple tours, and we had a label back us up, and I always was really just anal about doing everything myself, the recording, the artwork, booking all the shows. And, you know, I've had people come and offer like, oh, I want to manage you guys. And I don't know, it just freaks me out. I think if it's becomes business, it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather just keep it, you know, we don't make any money. And if I do make any money, it just goes right back to the band for t-shirts or making CDs or stickers or something, you know.
Yeah.
Anytime someone downloads some off Bandcamp, I'll email them and be like, "What's your address?" I'll mail you an envelope full of stickers. Just because when I was a kid, that's what I loved, when everything was still through mail order. You know, you had to get a paper catalog and send a money order and wait 2 weeks.
Remember those awesome SST slips you used to get in there, the catalogs in the records?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have some of my Lookout Records catalogs. Trying to think, some Mutant Pop records. Mutant Pop was a really small label, but that was one of my favorite labels growing up. And he just released, I got really lucky and somehow did a side project with John Jughead from Screeching Weasel.
Oh, wow.
And he writes and records everything, sends us like a phone demo, comes over, we'll spend a night just, you know, having fun and figuring it out and lay it down, and that's it. So
that's
that
awesome.
band we have a cassette coming out and some vinyl too. So I was kind of busy with that, so I kind of got sidetracked, you know, but we played some good shows. We got to open up for Kepi Gooley and Dan Vapid and the Cheats.
Oh.
And Boris the Sprinkler. That was really fun.
Yeah, I remember those guys.
Yeah, that was great.
So before we head out, is there anything you'd like to talk about or mention that I haven't asked about?
Not really. I mean, we got that record coming out. I think Michael from Sharewaji said November 18th is the the ETA on that, hopefully. So we're gonna have 250 pressed. I'm gonna get half of them here in the States. So if anybody wants any, just hit me up personally and I'll mail them out, because I think the shipping was a little crazy coming from Asia.
Yeah.
They were like, it was like $14 shipping, which I don't know how much better it's going to be here,
Yeah.
after, but even just buying the special boxes and everything. But
Yeah.
anyone that orders stuff, I'm always going to toss in a ton of stickers and some free merch, whatever I got laying around.
So you're gonna have the vinyl up on your Bandcamp?
I would honestly rather just do it personal, like just hit me up, because the Bandcamp thing, we have it set up where we both kind of run it, me and Michael. So I'll see whatever he wants to do. I mean, he's got the pre-order up there from Asia, but once I get our batch here in the States, I would say just hit me up.
Okay.
I run the Facebook and Instagram. We're not really. I'm still feel like I'm too old for Instagram. I just don't have time. It's so hard to keep up with all these platforms and different bands, and then my studio is always ringing off the hook. So I feel bad. Like sometimes guys will be like, "Oh, did you mail that out yet?" I'm like, I'm getting there. Just I could be a little slow with getting stuff out, but when people order merch, obviously I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you so much, Marky. I had a great time getting to know your music, and I really enjoyed it. And I had a great time meeting you. And I want to just say thank you, and thank you for making music. Yeah, that's the most important part.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's been cool just meeting all kinds of different people, and you never know where it can go. I started out just kind of messing around, thinking this is just something for fun for me to do. But if there's people out there that want to hear it and buy it, then that really makes my day. So I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, you have a great night. Thanks for your time and accommodating my schedule.
Oh yeah, man. Anytime. If you ever want to do it again, let me know.
Awesome.